brand new episode. I don't know why I'm doing a lot with my hands today.
That was so sparkly.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Falling Upwards. I'm here with my lovely co-host Maddie Armstrong, and we're both in black today. If you're a video watcher, we're both in black today.
Crazy. This is a pajama top, actually.
No, I respect it. You've got to be comfy. Do you know what I mean?
No one's gonna be able to tell anyway. I've told everyone now, but
that reminds me of people, you know, when it was during lockdown
COVID,
and people on Zoom and people are like, yeah, I look smart on top, but on the bottom, who knows what's going on.
That is me all the time though. Like if I'm on a video call, 9 times out of 10 I'm wearing pajama shorts.
You want to be comfy, you do,
and
just be comfy.
And also my duvet will be like over my legs because I like to be warm. Because I don't have a desk, so my bed is just my computer's just on my bed. So if I'm calling someone, my computer's in front of me, but they can't see my legs. They can't see the duvet. It's just, you know.
I think a lot of people can identify though.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people that's nodding along to Maddie right now, let us know in the comments. Are you also somebody that just goes totally freestyle when you're on a video call? I'm always in sweatpants or something. What's
crazy is because I'm someone that thinks that comfort increases productivity, because that's a problem that's got rid of. So surely you can do better. But in one of my old jobs, which was in an office, one of the new rules that they implemented not long before I left was that we weren't allowed to wear any sort of, and this was fine, and it was a very chill kind of office environment. So this wasn't like Google, you know, headquarters. This was like everyone was under the age of 30, you know. But we couldn't wear any sort of joggers or sweatpants or anything like that. Bear in mind that the dress code was always like whatever you wanted to wear. And I did wear them a couple times because it was comfy. And sometimes with like sensory things, if I'm wearing like a tight jean, then I'm not thinking about these calls I've got to make. I'm thinking about, it's a bit tight now there, isn't it?
Uncomfortable.
If I'm wearing like lovely soft joggers, that's completely out of my mind because I'm comfy. So that was always wild to me. I argued with my boss over that because I was like, actually, no, if we're more comfortable, we're more productive. And he was just like, no, you're wrong.
We do have a fantastic guest on the lawn today. This is a lovely pre-record. You're going to see again how pre-record works with our kind of new shiny glittery format. But let me introduce our guest, and then Maddie can give you a tiny bit of a primer, as her expert magical brain will do. So our lovely guest is a super talented singer-songwriter from London. This folk country pop music talent has worked with creators behind tracks for Lewis Capaldi, Ellie Goulding and Tate McRae. She's been featured in Radio 1's Future Pop, made the long list for the Glastonbury Emerging Talent Competition 2024, and performed at Europe's biggest country music festival, Country to Country, at the O2. Her latest EP released at the end of last year, The Hurt and the Healing, which followed on from her amazing 2024 album, The Diary of an Overthinker. And she is on tour this September. It is the lovely Maya Lane that we have on the lawn today. Maddie, tell us more about how you found her music.
Yeah, her sound is very, very earthy, very calm, you know? Sometimes we actually get some kind of ambient sounds in there. A song of hers that I like is called Gently. Very relaxing. Can easily see why they call her folk country pop.
I think our listeners, because we know what you listen to, we know what a lot of our listeners, we saw the summary, do you remember, from 2025 that said this is what your listeners also listen to? And we know a lot of you like Taylor Swift. We know you like Gracie Abrams. We know you like a lot of K-pop artists. We know you like your singer-songwriters. We think you'll like Maya as well. So she does have a failure for you, Maddie. Would you, Queen Arbiter, like to listen along?
Heck yeah.
Do you know what? I think I was talking to my management about it earlier.
Yeah.
And I think my favourite failure, and I guess it's maybe failures, is when I haven't maybe made it onto a lineup of a festival.
Oh,
So, for
okay.
example, like, you always put yourself forward for different festivals, different gigs, support slots, and realising that actually then, for example, I was like really hoping I've always wanted to play BST.
Yeah.
And so last year I was kind of like, oh, I wish I could play it, and I came and watched, and it was incredible. But you have that slight feeling as an artist of like, oh, one day I'd love to be on that stage. And in the time, you can often take that as, oh, maybe I failed, I haven't quite done it yet.
Yeah.
And then actually realizing that I'm in so much of a better position and a better place as an artist to play it now. Kind of learning from those. I guess realizing they're not failures, it's just things happen at the right time, but being able to see that your failures become kind of your strengths in some ways.
Yeah.
Or you're able to learn from them and realize that things happen when they're meant to and when you're ready.
As some of you may be able to tell, this was when I caught up with her at BST last year, and she did absolutely smash it.
I agree with Maya with her take that in hindsight, these things aren't failures. Because it is just, I mean, she made it. She succeeded anyway. Does it really feel as much of a failure when you eventually make it? And then when that time comes for you to make it, you're the more polished version of you. So you get your chance that you've got, you're in a much better state to be doing it. So I think that is a win for her.
Well, of course, that means we welcome her onto the lawn. And I've brought some lovely things for the lawn today that are connected to the variety of lovely answers that Maya gave to us about all manner of things that we chatted about. And here we chatted about her performing and what it meant to hit the stage. Let's listen to what she said in response to that first. Found it. Has it kind of settled in yet?
Yeah, I feel like I need to still go back and look at the stage and be like, wow, I just played that.
Nice.
But no, it was definitely such a crazy moment, a big bucket list moment for me. Yeah.
Were there any memorable moments from it that stand out to you yet?
I think what was really cool is when I said I didn't think anyone was coming. Everyone started cheering. I was like, oh, you want to be here? Yay, this is so nice. And also how just seeing people sing along, seeing people kind of running from other points of the stage, singing my songs, coming forward was really, really special. Yeah.
What song were you most looking forward to performing before going on? And did that change? Did it end up being your main highlight?
It changes it changes every time I do a show. I mean, I think I always love the opening song because we start a cappella and it feels like a real fun moment. Kind of like throw yourself in the deep end, I guess, like trying to sing a cappella. But actually, I let my audience pick a song today on my Instagram. I put like a little poll up, which one do you want to hear? And so being able to play the song that they all asked for was really nice as well.
Oh, cool. Well, for a stage this big, this kind of monumental for you, are you a massive overthinker and planner for this, or do you kind of go with the flow?
I wish I could go with the flow. But I don't think there's any flow apart from planned flow with me. But no, I definitely overthought it a lot. From like what I was going to wear to what we were going to play. But I think it's just also my way of like preparing for things and making sure that I can do the best job. This is ultimately like my biggest passion and what I love to do, but I want to give people a good show as well. And so trying to pick songs that I think the crowd are going to want to hear or like, and give them some new stuff as well. Give them a cover for the people who have just stumbled upon me and don't know my set. But yeah, I definitely plan it all out. There's been lots of rehearsals and a full day of kind of like a day with structure to get here, but we're here. And now I feel like I can sit back and just go,
Thoughts, Queen Arbiter. I mean, this isn't really one for failure or judgment, but I know you love your artists.
I love the part about her polling her fans for what song they want to hear. Have you ever, maybe this is too specific, but have you ever gone to see an artist you like and disappointed might be too strong a word, but when you see the set list, you're like, oh, not what I would have picked, These are all B and below for Tia, Maddie favorite songs. Because at the end of the day, music was always meant to be heard live, and people see you because they want to hear the stuff they like from you, right? That's why singers always do their biggest song even if it's at the encore, you know, they've always got to put in their most popular one because that's what people are there for. So I love the artist actually going and like being aware of that and sort of trying to give back to their listeners. Because that's a poll as well, so that's the most popular vote. So like the loyal people to Maya saying, we want to hear this one because we really like this one. I think that's a good call from an artist.
Major agree. And she's obviously utilised social media as a means to connect to fans and to enhance her performance and enhance that live experience even more. Which brings me on to my first item to the lawn for Maddie's judgment. If you're listening for the first time, we rank things that have happened in the world. When I say we, it's really Maddie, our queen emperor arbiter of failures, who decides. And if something's a success, this is what we hear. It's getting less exciting for us. If something's made, we've played this every time. If she thinks it's not really a failure, it's not really a success, this is what we hear.
That's kind of how I feel this. I was going to say morning, but it's 3 p.m. That is how I feel at this hour. Within myself, personally. Not on the pod.
Oh no. And if she deems it to be an out and out failure, this is what we hear.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
The icon, Steve Carell.
I don't get sick of that though. It's so enjoyable, like the audio of that. It's like you can eat it, you know?
Well, what I've brought to the lawn does connect to what Maya was talking about, using social media to interact with fans. Let's see what you think. Let's see if there's even a failure there. So the legendary actor Leslie Manville has criticised the utilisation of mobile phones during a curtain call when people have come to watch a play. As is reported in The Guardian, Leslie Manville, currently starring in a play at the National Theatre, has publicly criticised the growing habit of audiences filming curtain calls. She described the behaviour as insulting and called for audiences to preserve the unique, in-the-moment nature of live theatre. Manville noted that while the practice is widespread on Broadway, it is beginning to appear in London, and the risks eroding the shared, undistracted experience between performer and audience. Please, Queen Arbiter.
This is one of the things that I don't like about our very judgy society is when people have a go at others for something that they are not as in control of as they are being criticized for. Because let's face it, none of us sort of signed up one day to say, I consent to being addicted to my phone and, you know, whipped up into this sort of mindset that you get from exposure to social media and like the internet for as long as we do. And it is true that everyone wants to capture things now. Everyone feels the need to preserve it on their phone. Otherwise, they feel they just won't remember it at all. It's somehow more enjoyable to, you know, watch it back than be in the moment, because people aren't able to live in the moment anymore. And I don't think it's people's fault. I think it's this like almost kind of collective shift in mental health just because of the way things are. And I think a lot of that has gotten worse post-COVID. So I'm not going to say that's a failure on people's part. I think this might be controversial, but I'm actually going to say it's not a failure. I think they can do what they want. I am going to counter this with saying, I'm sorry, Leslie. I think that's a bit of a failure for that take there.
I was going to add to that, because tickets are so expensive as well. You know, people are present I think it's a little bit different during maybe a concert, but especially during theatre, I would say most of the time people aren't on their phones, you know, they're not filming the production, and tickets are so expensive that it's kind of like, you know, those little 30 seconds, it's not stopping people from clapping, but if they've paid a lot for a ticket, that's a tiny
and it's just
memento for them.
The curtain call as well, specifically. Like, if I'm seeing a production, I am probably going to try and take a video or a photo of the curtain call, because that's a really awesome moment. That's when they're all there together and they're all bowing. I don't think that's a problem at all for audience members to do that. That shows that they want to show appreciation for the actors on stage. So I think this is a moldy take.
That's extra PR as well, isn't it? Like if they're posting it on social media, more people can see stuff about the production and stuff like that. So are we going hard mid, Queen Emperor?
Yeah. Sorry, Leslie.
Well, let's carry on with our conversation with Maya, and that will lead us into my next offering for the law. You've talked a lot about your kind of songwriting process and how personal your music is.
Yeah.
Can you take us through every step of developing one of your songs?
Yeah. So it kind of changes each song. I would say a lot of my songs start out with me going on walks and writing, which is something that I really love to do. I feel like when my body's moving or when I'm like slightly distracted, I can just write easier, and like I get inspired by things I see and people I see along the way or sounds I hear, and that's definitely one of my favorite ways of writing. So I put my voice note on, I'll just start singing or talking into my voice note, and if I start getting an idea I like, I normally go home and then take it to guitar, maybe get some chords going. I try and get like a verse chorus, or sometimes, you know, I finish the song on the spot. If I haven't finished it, I'll take it into the studio with like one of my friends or a producer I love working with, and we kind of continue working on it together.
Nice.
And go from there.
What's your favourite song you've ever written? Is it something your fans would expect, or is it more of a deep cut?
Okay, I think it's going to be a deep cut because it's a new one, maybe. But I have a song called Guys Like You, which I did play today, and I think that's one of my favourite ones. It was a slightly different lyric to what I normally write. It's a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, maybe a little more funny, and less serious. So yeah, that's one that I'm excited to kind of get out and have people hear, and was one of my favourites to write, and I think I had the most fun writing it.
Nice. Well, you do have listeners that love you from all over, not just from the UK. What's that been like, kind of seeing the international response to your music?
It's been so cool. I mean, when you look at your like analytics, or you get a message and you're like, wow, someone from Venezuela or someone from like wherever, you know, Australia or Japan listening, it's really crazy. And I think I just got I hit like 100 or like 1,000 something milestone on Apple Music of Shazams in Japan. I was like, that's really cool. My music's just randomly playing in like a shop or a cafe maybe, or someone showing their friends. And to know that it's being able to reach places that I've never been to is really cool. And hopefully one day I'll be able to get out to all these countries and see everyone and play for them.
I appreciate her process, especially what she said about walks. Walks are so legit. What a 2026 thing to say. Walks are so legit. But no, they are great. Contrary to, I don't know, unpopular belief, when we're in front of the tablets of infinite information and all human knowledge, at least in my experience, I'm not getting nearly as much inspiration or ideas or thoughts as I am when I'm like on a walk with my mum we go on walks all over, but especially when it's like in a forest in a spot that there's hardly any people, those are the days where I find myself talking about and thinking about like the most profound stuff, you know, like the having as many clear thoughts as possible, whereas when I'm here in front of this guy, there's not much going on. So I love like her whole process, because I think that's a very good, very real way of getting your inspiration. And especially her songs, you really do feel like you're taking a walk in some nature. Particularly with the song I Like Gently, that's very much like a walk in a forest with a little stream.
From one lovely singer-songwriter going global to another, this leads me to my next lawn offering, which is the K-pop Demon Hunters hitting up Coachella with Cat's Eye. Coachella attendees who turned out to watch Cat's Eye perform got a golden treat when the singers behind Huntrix, EJ, I'm pretty sure, I hope I've said that right, EJ, Audrey Nuna and Ray Ami made a surprise appearance. Fresh off winning the Oscar for Best Original Song, the K-pop Demon Hunters stars joined Cat's Eye on the Sahara stage to perform Golden. In case you've been living under a rock and you did not know this, Golden has scooped up a string of awards, including the Golden Globe and the Critics' Choice Awards for Best Original Song. It also won the Grammy Award for Best Song for Visual Media. I just want to add, I didn't write this. This is from a news report. Given that EJ, we all know EJ's incredible story, is this just yet another amazing win for the singer-songwriter and obviously Audrey and Ray to be hitting up Coachella? An absolute massive win.
No, I'm all for, like, EJ especially getting all the flowers they deserve. You know, like, keep it coming. I know that they've been absolutely all over everywhere ever since the massive success of that film, but I think deserved, you know?
Yeah.
She has worked so hard. What company was it that she trained under or like nearly debuted with?
Was it SM? She trained for approximately 10 years but did not debut.
Makes sense for it to be SM because they always focus on like strong vocalists. She would have been so good in an SM group.
Yeah,
she could have been in Red Velvet, but then they already have strong vocalists. So, but now this is exactly like what we were talking about with Maya Lane before, which is she might not have got BST the previous year, but she got it that year, and that was when she was more matured, and that was her moment, that was her time, and it's the same for EJ, right? It wasn't her time to debut with SM, but that still prepped her. And now that she's got her chance, she's really got the rewards from that. So I think absolute win. And I think it is an awesome bit of collaboration for Cat's Eye and the girls of K-pop Demon Hunters to be on the same stage at Coachella. That's just awesome.
Is this a total win from the Queen Arbiter? Yeah.
Yes,
okay, let's do it. Let's jump back to Maya. The country genre has kind of never been bigger than it is now. Why do you think it's, especially like during this time, why do you think people have come to it so readily? Not just from like the UK, but from everywhere.
I think honestly social media has been a really big part of like broadening its reach to people. I think a lot of people had the stereotype that country music was just like white guys who sing songs about beer and trucks. And while there is that aspect of it, I think it is like it can be a very diverse genre. You know, people cross genre it with pop. You got pop country, indie country, like rock, rap. I mean, I supported Breland, who's like on tour, and he's a mix of like gospel, R&B, rap, country all together, and it's a kind of selection of music that you might not always think about going together, but actually when artists are doing these, it's reaching all different types of people and all different types of fan base, and that's been really cool to see. And then you have people like Zach Bryan who are kind of like paving their own way of country and releasing like 30 track albums, and there's just so much music out there for people to discover now, and it's really great.
Nice. Well, you talked about your influences before. Do you remember the very first country song you fell in love with?
Ooh, I'm trying to think. I mean, it's going to probably be a bit of a cliche one, but Country Roads, Take Me Home, John Denver.
Nice.
I would think that was the first one I really remember, like thinking, oh, this is like a country song.
Right, okay.
But I think it was probably Casey Musgraves, ultimately, who like really, really drew me in. I think Merry-Go-Round, I mean, I know that's so many people's favourite song of hers, but it's just so cleverly written, and I think it's so good. Yeah.
If you ever got to share a stage with her, is that the song you'd want to perform with her?
Yeah, that or Slow Burn. I think I would pass out if I got to share a stage with her, so I wouldn't be able to sing anything, but definitely those two.
I mean, country is a genre that doesn't really die, is it? I think I should give it some more love, because I do have country songs on my Spotify, but I think I should have more. She mentioned Casey Musgraves, and I love High Horse. I think, you know what?
High Horse is so good. So good.
I think part of the reason I do like some country is because it just makes me think of riding horses. It is like horse riding music. You got a cowboy hat on. Mm-hmm. Is it Manchild at the end of Manchild that's got a very like country sort of thing to it? I know that on Sabrina's like latest set or something, she did like this fun little like horsey ridey dance bit at the end, and I think it was Manchild. I can't quite remember, but yeah, it's just very warm and sunny and homely. And yeah, when they're not just singing about tractors or husband values, I don't know, like it can be such a fun wide genre. It can be about anything.
Not singing about tractors.
No, but there is like
an ode to a tractor.
There are country songs that are about tractors. There was I remember when Vine was huge, there was a Vine and one of them had like this song in it where this guy is like riding round on a big green tractor, and like that is just burned into my head. There is a song that sounds just like that, I promise you. I'll send it to you later.
Well, that leads into my next Lord offering.
If you can imagine something, it exists.
Okay, my next Lord offering, since we're talking about the magic of country music, this is from The Guardian. Dolly Parton tops the list of global figures in US favorability poll. For the US public, the feeling that Dolly Parton expressed in her country music chart-topping 1974 classic I Will Always Love You is clearly mutual. Great opening, by the way, from that writer. A poll of Americans' opinions about more than 20 international luminaries established as much, with the 11-time Grammy winner and philanthropist leaving her two closest competitors, Barack Obama and Volodymyr Zelensky, in the dust by more than 50 percentage points. Of 1,000 people surveyed by the University of Massachusetts and the market research firm YouGov heading into April, 70% of them had a favourable impression of Dolly Parton, an 11-time, I had no idea she had that many Grammys, an 11-time Grammy winner. Only 5% had an unfavourable impression of her, giving her a net favourability of 65%. For your judgment, please.
Wow, that's really lovely. I do like to hear that Dolly Parton is, you know, getting her recognition, because she is a very beloved celebrity.
And she does so much to help people when she's not making music as well, she
seems very down to
which
earth.
Is very nice. Yeah. And, you know, she gives
very
books
warm
to kids and helps children and stuff like that. And it's like... You know, we shouldn't put any celebrities on a pedestal, but it's nice when it's like, what have they done with their fame? They've like helped kids and families and things like that.
Yeah, I think with whether this is with money or like fame, when you're successful, as far up as that goes, you need to offset it with like a really good deed.
But what would you like to adjudicate this Queen, Arbiter, Emperor, Judger?
Oh, win for Dolly, yeah.
A win for Dolly. And back to Maya. You dropped Diary of an Overthinker last year.
Yes.
How was that rollout for you? Did it go the way you expected?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it's always so interesting when you're releasing music to see which songs like people relate to, because you never really know. So I kind of had the EP track list planned, and then last minute we threw in Just a Girl and started releasing that one, and that was one that I didn't expect to resonate with so many people. So it was really cool and interesting to see that everyone was actually, so that a lot of people out there were feeling things that I'd felt and I thought no one else was ever going to go through or ever going to feel. But it's always amazing when you get to just put out a body of work that, you know, you've been playing or you've been keeping to yourself, and to see its reach and to see, yeah, as you said, like people from all over the world saying, oh, I found you through this song, or I heard you on this playlist. Half the time I don't even know I'm on the playlist, and I'm like, this is really cool. Yeah, so it's lovely.
Well, in the spirit of the album, what top 3 things right now would you say you're overthinking?
Oh, I was definitely overthinking the set and my outfit today. I was worried I was in a too sheer outfit, but I think it's fine.
No, you're definitely not. I feel like with the heat as well, I feel like people are vibing.
I think I overthink. Ooh, I probably overthink like little things I've said to people a lot. I'll say something and I'm like, I mean, haven't we did all? I say the right name?
Yeah.
Did I hug someone weirdly? I don't know. Yeah. And then right now I'm actually kind of hungry. So I am thinking about the catering back there. Okay. And what I'm going to...
Have you popped in yet? Have you seen it?
I have seen it. And I've seen some cinnamon rolls.
And
I could really eat a cinnamon roll right now.
Nice.
So I'm trying to like think about which thing I'm going to go for. When there's a buffet, it's kind of like, well, I want a bit of everything. So.
Would you say you're a foodie? Is that kind of...
Oh, yeah. I'm a big foodie. Yeah.
Do you have like a favourite cuisine? One that you go for?
Ooh, I would say top 3.
Okay.
If I can go for top 3.
Yeah, go
it's
for it.
Definitely like Japanese food. I love Japanese food. Then I would say second is kind of like Mediterranean.
Okay.
I love like fish and all that kind of stuff. And then third, maybe Mexican food. I love tacos, and we don't have very good Mexican food in the UK.
No, we don't.
So whenever I'm in the US, I go and get like a good tacos or anything. Yeah. Nice. They're my favorite things. Favorite cuisines, I guess.
You know, I think in my life, I have had one cinnamon bun.
Oh. I had my mouth open for a really long time, and then I was like, audio listeners are just going to hear silence.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago either. I mean, it was cinnamony and it was pastry.
Okay. You were vibing.
Like you get what you get, no surprises, you know?
From chat about Maya's albums to albums around the world. This is my last offering. From Musically, written by Stuart Dredge, this is about how Korean and Japanese artists dominate IFPI album sales. So The Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift was only the 8th most streamed album of 2025, but the biggest for sales by a distance. 7 of the top 10 albums by sales in 2025 were from K-pop artists, whilst records from Japanese artist Snowman and Chinese musician Hua Chen-yu ensured that 9 of the top 10 albums were from Asia. Interestingly, out of the top 20 albums, 12 records are from South Korea, 6 from Japan, including 3 from Japanese Korean groups NCT Wish and N-Team, who I know you know, and 1 from China. Swift is the only Western artist on the list of top 20 albums by sales in 2025. Thoughts, please, Queen Emperor.
Well, we know why that is, don't we?
Yeah.
K-pop groups, especially, they make buying albums fun, okay? Because buying CDs used to be because you wanted to hear the music. I remember when I was a kid, we had a CD player. I think my first ever CD was, is it called Battlegrounds by The Wanted? I think it is. It's the one with an orange sky on it.
Yep. The cover popped into my head. I knew what you meant.
Yeah,
you're all good.
Yeah, because we didn't have it all in one place on demand. I mean, maybe you did if you had an iPod, but you know.
But then it still wasn't everything.
My playlist was just downloaded audio files on my PC, and so with that technology, I don't know if it's technology or more just things improving, but with things like Spotify make it so much easier to listen to music, and it's you know, you if you have like a subscription to these things, you can get any music that's on the platform like on demand. So it's great if you've listened to a lot of music like me. So that means that you don't need to buy CDs. The only people that are buying CDs are fanatics. But
Well, people that just want to own a physical copy, people that still value physical ownership.
They're probably still not using it as the primary way to listen to that album because they'll have their phones. But then K-pop comes in, and K-pop, and like these other genres, like C-pop, J-pop, they come in and they want to produce something that is like a little bit of art, it almost looks like a book. It's full of goodies. It's not just a CD. They actually want to present it. A lot of like production. And I've noticed this when I went to Korea before, is that packaging, and it is a whole different game over there. Like sometimes I'm a bit concerned about the recycling and like how much paper is being used, but there is no flaw in the packaging. It's always beautiful over there. So I think that's the same with their albums. And it's not just about getting a photo card of like a K-pop idol. I think it is just the emphasis on the aesthetics of it, which makes these albums way more valuable to people than just a jewel case of a CD, So I think that's a win for K-pop, C-pop, J-pop. And also shout out to Anteam.
Okay, well, we know what time it is. It's mad news time.
I am doing another exhibition. Woo!
Woo!
Got more photos. Got more concert photos. I just recently shot Junhee from K-pop group Ace at his solo concert in London. So photos from that concert will be in the exhibition as well. Also, my photos of Onyu from SHINee will be there. There's new stuff, and there's new photos from little day trips I've gone around various very scenic spots in the UK. So it is going to have the old stuff, but also new stuff put into it. And I don't know how I'm going to sort everything out without it being too cluttered, because I want to put in as many photos as possible.
Hey, but I know that's a good problem to have, though, to have too many as opposed to too little.
The venue owner before, she was like 30 photos max for like the last exhibition, and I was like, oh my goodness, 30? How am I going to pick 30? I did manage to, but I don't know how she's going to feel when I rock up with like 1.5 times as many. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But more details about the venue and everything and the look of things will be available on my Instagram closer to the date.
Well, Maya, of course, has a lovely exchange for us, so let's pop it on.
Lovely.
Oh, okay, so an artist I love called Carter Faith. She's a country artist, just put out a song called Sex, Drugs and Country Music.
Nice.
And it's so good. It's so funny. It's very like tongue-in-cheek. It kind of gives me real like classic country vibes.
Nice.
I love that. I'm also really loving, there's a girl called Annika Bennett. She put out an album last year, which I'm really, really loving. There's a song called Girl Who Ruins Everything. And that one hits hard.
Okay. Is that like a top of the playlist?
Yeah, it puts you in your like sad girl feel.
We've got a lovely song from Maya. What are you contributing to the exchange today?
Recently, I sat down with my mum and sister, and we had, because my sister was doing some crafty things, and we had this sort of bowl of like old beads and things, and I decided to pick out beads that sort of represent my mum and beads that look like my sister. And then my mum took a few minutes to do some for me as well, and I took a picture of the beads that she put in my hand, and I popped them back in. So if you want a cute little activity, I will exchange it doesn't have to be beads, maybe it could be marbles or something, but if you're with someone, maybe pick out some cute little things and say, "This is you."
Oh,
Maybe
that's so
flowers. Flowers would be
sweet.
so cute. But yeah, it's a nice way to show people that you think of them and show them how you think of them as well, because you can think about the colors that remind you of that person, and like it's just a nice little thing. So we had fun doing that.
To add to your do a lovely activity with people, I have been getting into just card games. I do enjoy the odd video game, but I've been rediscovering the joy of card games. And I mean, I was going to say simplicity, but some card games are well complex. But yeah, just the joy of card games, a nice tactile game that uses your hand. Yeah, that doesn't involve you jabbing a screen or a controller. Very lovely. All righty. Well, it's almost the end. We have a sign off for Maya. Do you want to start with that?
Kick it off, Maya.
Oh, this is so hard. Oh my gosh. This is where you're going to see me being overthinker.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to come up with something. But I would say be yourself.
Nice.
There are so many there's so many people out there. Mm-hmm. You're unique. There's already a version that exists. If you're looking up to someone and being like, oh, I wish I was a bit more like this, or I wish I had a bit of that, they already exist. Don't even bother comparing yourself to them. You're your own person. That's what makes you special. That's the most important thing. Keep being authentic. Stay true to you.
A lovely, wholesome sign off.
Solid.
Be yourself. What would you like to sign off with?
Do you remember? Now it's stuck in your head. I guarantee you will have finished that line in your head. You are welcome.
That just came out of nowhere. Okay. I will sign off with listen to fun music in these troubled times. I think some people think, like sometimes when artists are, I'm going to put out a fun track, and then when times are tough, people are like, times are tough, it's like the music should be represented. I was like, no, sometimes, people need that joy. We need that joy. Listen to fun music to help you get through the tough times.
Well, okay, riddle me this.
Okay.
If you're sad, this isn't actually a riddle at all. I just wanted to say riddle me this. If you're sad and you listen to Adele,
right,
are you going to still be sad, or are you going to feel happy? You answer.
Surely it depends on the Adele song.
There are no...
She's got a couple of cheerful ones in it. Does she? I admit I don't know her discography like back to front.
I mean, the most sort of like bright tune of hers I can think of is "Summer Love to You."
That's what that was the one that I was thinking as well.
But even then, that's not a cheerful song.
I mean, maybe it's cathartic for some people, but also like listening to something joyful doesn't mean you're not taking the stress of the world seriously. It's just listen to some joy, have some joy.
Say, do you remember? You should. That song will always put you in a good mood, I think. Yeah.
Well, if you want something else to put you in a good mood, Maya Lane is on tour this September. You can go to Instagram to check out the dates. I think a lot of you will like her music. Go and check her stuff out. Thank you to her for chatting with me, for coming on the lawn. Thank you to Maddie for twinning with me unintentionally today.
I never wear black.
I was so surprised. And thank you to you, lovely listeners, for listening to another episode of Falling Upwards. Bye!